have a much better idea of how the new Pokemon is going to play. Let's chat about PlayStation's rumored subscription service. And I unbox a brand new Replicade mini arcade machine. All that and the latest and everything cool today in the Rundown. Hey, welcome to the Rundown. My name is Victor Lucas, and the man drinking on the job is Jose Fubar Sanchez. What are you drinking, my friend?
It's Fubar Friday, Victor. So I got a little something special in here.
That's awesome.
It's just watermelon sparkling water.
Oh, that sounds good. That's the.
Yeah.
Can you hand me one of those?
Sure.
Oh, that's wonderful. Thank you. Oh, delicious. All right, we've got a great rundown for you guys today. Thank you for joining us in the Electric Playground. But first, we have to thank our sponsor, which is the Gaming Stadium. They are Canada's leader in online esports tournament facilitation, and they've got tournaments and all kinds of cool things happening every single weekend that you definitely want to find out about. You can join up with them at tgs.gg. All right, we also have a dedication for today, and this one is going out to Evil Neptune, who said, when I was a kid, I'd gotten an autograph from you through one of my uncles. This was under my last Rundown video. I didn't know you had a YouTube account, but now I do, and I wanted to say thanks. I watch reviews on the run almost daily, and it really meant a lot to me. And I had quite a few people kind of reminiscing on the last Rundown. That happens every once in a while. I think people are used to us streaming.
You're playing the old
Twitch.
Heartstrings on them.
Well, it's nice, man. We're always focused on whatever we're working on right now, and it's just nice to hear that we've been around for a while. I'm sure you get this on your streams all the time too, right?
No.
You don't?
No, not at all.
It's like,
No,
who
just
are
kidding.
you? Oh,
Yeah, they're like, why are you playing Spelunky again? Like it just came out again. Stop releasing it, I'll stop playing.
Well, it's incredibly sweet when we hear from people, and I think it must surprise a lot of people too that know you from EP and Reviews on the Run that you're on Twitch, and people are always saying, "Holy crap, I haven't seen Electric Playground or Reviews on the Run for a long time."
I always wonder what the disconnect is to like where like how they came across it. Like when they're like, "Oh, I was a fan for so long." Like, well, how'd you end up here now?
Yeah.
Like, where was that catalyst that was just like, maybe I'll look and search and see if he's on YouTube, and bam, there's EP.
Well, like when we were on TV, there wasn't 75 billion other channels with lots of different choices and things talking about all
true.
this, right?
It's also very true.
I totally understand if it takes people a little bit of time to figure out that we're still making lots of cool stuff. But you definitely have to follow Foobs on Twitch. He streams all the time. It's Don_Fubar on Twitch, and he crushes it. He's the best gamer I've ever met in my 27 years of doing this stuff. It's true, though.
I don't want to toot my own horn.
Well, you know what it is?
I know where my horn is.
It's not like you're the pro at one game. You're the pro at every game.
I like a lot of games. I'm not that guy that's just going to be playing League of Legends over and over again.
Fist bump.
Kudos.
Fist bump. There it is. Boom. Yeah, me too. All right. We've got a rundown to get to, and we're going to start with some Pokemon news. Nintendo released a big 13-minute trailer yesterday talking about the gameplay that's going to be in Pokemon Legends Arceus. And it looked really intriguing. There's obviously a vast amount of this new region called Hisui, which is going back in time in the Pokemon lore, which is really cool. And it feels, when you first see some of the imagery for this game, that it's going to be a little bit like Breath of the Wild and stretch on forever and ever. But it isn't quite like that. It's a giant kind of hub space, and you go from each of these different biomes and regions within the Hisui region. And so you're going to see lots of different weather patterns and lots of different Pokemon attached to different environmental conditions and stuff. But it is, absolutely beautiful to look at. What were your thoughts when you saw the trailer?
Strong Breath of the Wild vibes. Like Nintendo found a graphic style, I feel, and they're like, oh, we can apply this. We can apply this to some things. But minus breaking swords left and right.
Yeah, and I think, something that's kind of interesting with the way that they're setting this up is that it's taking place in the past, and so it's sort of setting the foundation for the lore, which is, again, something that The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild kind of picked up on as well, right? Taking some of the familiar and crafting the story and playing with time and all that.
Which is weird because I never think of like timeline when I think of a game. Like Zelda, obviously you can think of where does this take place in the timeline? It doesn't really matter because the games are sort of condensing themselves and there's not really sequels to other Zelda games.
Right.
But Pokemon, I don't think of like, oh, when was this day? These Pokemon still look like the same Snorlax you were before. This is the ancient variation of the Snorlax where you had a blue patch instead of just entire blue. I don't know how it's going to work, but I'm sure it's going to be exciting for Pokemon fans.
Yeah, I mean, the thing with these games is they've made so many of them, and there's so many different variations that they need to kind of, I think, hone in on this lore. And this game, I don't know, because they haven't done any hands-on. They haven't given the game out early or anything. It comes out in 2 weeks from today, which is crazy. But it does look ambitious. It looks huge. I mean, we're looking at some of the idea behind the Pokedex here. Now, Pokedex is something that we're very familiar with in the Pokemon games, but this is the first one in the chronological order of the Pokemon titles as part of the fiction in this title, which I think is pretty cool. And I also dig some of the ideas around traversal, like you get on these different kind of funky-looking deer, and there's other Pokemon that you can ride. And
very Zelda-esque.
It is Zelda-esque.
Didn't he ride on a majestic mountain goat like that?
I mean, it certainly looks stunning, though, man. I mean, I do want the Pokemon games to be ambitious and to do things that we haven't done before, because I think something that we can levy at a lot of the Pokemon experiences is their familiarity. You know, even like Pokemon Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl was great. It was a really cool experience, but it was also incredibly familiar to anybody that played the DS games. So it's cool that they're taking some pretty big choices and big chances here with this.
And why are we only getting one? You know, don't Pokemon games drop in bundles? Are we supposed to get
and that's another
Arceus
thing,
and
man.
Arceus? I don't know.
Yeah. I think that's another thing. I mean, we're taking a look at some of the world exploration here, and you go and you talk to different people and you go off on missions. I think there's enough hooks in this that it's going to feel very familiar, but I do think that they want to shake it up. They want to see how much they can bend and still retain the established fans, but also bring in new ones. I think that's the whole idea here. Especially some of the lifers that have been playing all of the Pokemon games all the way along, and they want something brand new.
Since the way back days.
Are you a fan of Pokemon? Is that a franchise that you dig? Or
you know, the first game I got was, I think it was the last Game Boy game ever, which was the yellow Pokemon Yellow.
Yeah.
That was the first game, and I played it for a little bit way back in the Game Boy days.
Yeah.
The Game Boy.
Yes.
Okay?
The original.
That's going way back. And then I sort of I played a little bit of it when it came out as it progressed along the Game Boy handhelds. I played a lot of Pokemon Go, as did most people in the world.
Yeah.
But Pokemon Snap, I really enjoyed. The old one, I haven't played the new one.
Okay.
But it's not a franchise that I like.
It's not your first choice.
Yeah.
Right.
It's not the one that I'm clamoring to get a hold of whenever they drop another 2 Pokemon games.
Well, and I think that the Pokemon Company and Nintendo recognizes that there's room to grow that audience. They have the market share. They had that.
I mean, it's insane. It's humongous.
Yeah,
it's
like they had the Detective Pikachu movie do really well, but there's still a huge audience out there that doesn't jump in, and I think it's taking choices like this that may do that. Although we need to know that the gameplay, I mean, Breath of the Wild is an overwhelming experience, but it's also an incredibly inviting experience for every level of player. And that's what this game has to be as well, right?
Yeah. I mean, if you want people to continue to enjoy the franchise, you have to make an enjoyable experience, or they're going to be like, crap, ruined it.
Yeah.
Put one out on the DS.
And you know, one of the concerns out there, obviously, when you look at some of the footage, is that it's not packed with population. There aren't Pokemon running out of every corner, and it's not teeming with life.
Yeah.
You know,
I mean, that's the point, though. You have to hunt them down. If they were just abundant and just running everywhere, it'd be a very short game.
But that would be a very cool new direction for the Pokemon. I mean, when you see this, you see the Switch kind of running at max in a way, you know, just like Breath of the Wild as well, right? It's like, I mean, it's impressive, but it you can also feel the ceiling on how much they could throw onto the screen with this game.
It's going to make for some exciting speed runs. Yeah. Like, how fast can you catch them all?
And they have these noble Pokemon that you can pick up as well, the kind of extra special ones. I am just interested to see how this kind of sets up the tone for the franchise moving forward, and how much you know how different it feels, how unique it feels when we start to play this thing. Because one of the
They don't put out handheld. I mean, obviously the Switch is a handheld, but you
Yeah.
don't get that traditional handheld Pokemon experience anymore. This is what it has to be. So if it's not good now,
Yeah.
what have you done?
Well, and I think the complaints that were levied at Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl are valid. You know, it was a safe choice. It was really fun, and it was really easy to jump into, but it wasn't as maybe as ambitious as Sword and Shield were, which my daughter loved, and I played tons of that game, and it was super fun.
Did you catch them all though?
No. I don't have the patience to catch them all. Do you have the patience to catch them all?
It's the slow go. Gotta catch them all.
I know. I can't do it. I can't do it. I am excited to play this game, and I'll definitely be streaming it when I get it. It comes out in 2 weeks. I want to hear from you guys, though. Are you Pokemon fans? Let me know if you think Arceus is going to rock, or if you're going to be a little bit on the fence with this one.
Or if it's going to roll.
All right. We are going to roll. We're going to continue on, and our second story is all about what PlayStation might have up their sleeve this spring.
There have been lots of rumors swirling around ever since Bloomberg broke the story that PlayStation is working on a subscription service to compete with Xbox Game Pass. Codenamed Spartacus, the rumors have taken on a new significance under the news that UK-based retailers have been asked to remove PlayStation Now subscription cards from their stores, as pointed out by GamesBeat's Jeff Grubb, and then confirmed by other publications like Eurogamer. What do you think, Vic? Do you think this is something that's going to happen?
I think it's happening. I think that there's an inevitability about this news. I think Xbox Game Pass, we were talking about Game Pass titles like Spelunky 2 that you downloaded just before we started rolling today.
It's true.
I think Sony's got to do something to counter all of the goodwill that Xbox has been receiving over the last couple of years with Game Pass. What do you think?
I mean, I feel like I hope it's not I want to say it's not too late for them because there's still a whole bunch of people that are waiting to get PS5s.
Right.
But I hope it's on. It has to be on. You have to see what Xbox Game Pass is doing.
Yes.
If it's nothing like what Game Pass is doing, you're doing it wrong because it's such a great packaged up service of introducing new games day one, giving us old games. How far back in the catalog of PlayStation are we going to go? I mean, I still have like games on my PS3 that I downloaded that were PS1, PS2 games that are like, can I somehow manage to get access to those, or is it going to be like, well, here's just a bunch of like shovelware titles for those games or for those consoles? They need to knock it out of the park, and they have the library to do it.
They do, yes, they do, and they've done a pretty decent job with PS Now. If you're a subscriber and you have the fast enough internet that you can play those games and stream, but the idea is that they're going to combine PS Plus and PS Now into one monthly subscription service, and it is dependent, I think, not only on the new releases, because that's going to be a kind of a key point to getting people to pick up this new subscription price, or to spend on that subscription price, but they definitely do need to pick up a lot of the classic stuff as well. They need to kind of give us a vast library of their PlayStation 2 and their PlayStation 1 stuff, and it needs to succeed. It needs to like really deliver all of the nostalgia and all of the fun that we associate with PlayStation. And it feels like with every generation of PlayStation, to some degree, although there was backwards compatibility up to the PlayStation 3, there is this sort of like cutting the past and forgetting everything, which is insane, right?
Especially when you're Sony. And
I
mean, the PlayStation 1, PlayStation 2 are some of the most sold consoles of all time. Like,
totally.
Let's get that library going, man. It's so much fun to just dive back into the Switch, even with the minimal games that they put for the Nintendo, Super Nintendo, Nintendo 64.
Yes.
Just to have them there and being able to dive into it.
Yep.
People love that kind of stuff, even if they're games that people don't necessarily want to have to play.
My family's been playing Dr. Mario on the Switch recently, the N64 right. Dr. Mario, and having a blast.
we gotta stop that COVID any way we can. Anybody can do it. Dr. Mario's got the cure.
So I think that it's PlayStation 1, PlayStation 2, PlayStation 3 are key, but the other libraries of the PlayStation brand that
PSP?
Yes, man, we haven't seen anything from. Yeah, I mean the Vita, like they've shelved all of that stuff, and it's unless you have this hardware or you can figure out how to deal with emulation or something, you're gonna not be able to access a lot of this software, which is crazy.
I feel like it's their big E3 drop this year, like when they would announce like, hey, we got a new console, it's going to be $100 cheaper than the Xbox. Oh, and everybody lost their, they need to be like, listen, we've got this thing, it's not going to be called Spartacus, that's just the project name because it's a weird name.
Yes,
but we've got this thing, and by the way, PlayStation, what's available on it? Xbox gave you Xbox games, 360 games. Now we've got PlayStation 1, PlayStation 2, PlayStation 3, PSP, PSP minis, PS4 still on there. Like, and people would just bow and be like, now, right now, download the service. It's available. There are 1,000 games you can go back through and just find your favorites, play them. Oh, people would just, it would success.
Well, and
victory. You've finally done it.
I think that's part of what's going on behind the scenes. With you've heard the news that the PlayStation 4 has been ramped up. Production on PlayStation 4s because people are having a tough time with PlayStation 5,
which is insane to me still.
But if they're going to offer a subscription pass to all of this library, and some of it you'll be able to stream, like the cloud streaming that xCloud can do, and PlayStation Now is already doing, and you're going to have this backwards compatible library. The PlayStation 4 is powerful enough to emulate some of this software from the PS3 and the Vita and all that stuff.
Yeah.
And that's what they want. They want the subscribers, and that's what Nintendo is eventually going to want as well. That's what their news around investing more into Nintendo Switch Online. It's all looking at what is going on with Game Pass, and it's not like Game Pass has cornered the market and has made it impossible for the other companies to also do well. It's we have example after example. Disney is releasing first-run Pixar movies on Disney Plus.
Yeah, and Pixar's not excited about it.
No, I know.
Disney Plus fans are.
Disney Plus fans are, and Disney is, because they know. I mean, there's two reasons for that. The pandemic is happening, and people are a little squeamish about going out into the theaters, but they also want to drive subscriptions. That regular guaranteed monthly income is huge, and once Sony does this, Nintendo is going to be stepping on the gas big time, and we're going to get lots and lots of other big deals for Nintendo Switch Online as well.
Yeah, I feel like with Nintendo, it's literally a switch they need to pull. They're just like, listen, the entire Nintendo library is like 5 megabytes. We're like, flick. They're now, every game is available. You're not going to play them all, but if I had access to all of them on my Switch, damn, that's cool.
Well, what would you like to see Sony do? Like, would you, because Xbox Game Pass comes out, it's like around 100, maybe getting closer to 200 or something like that, but they're in the hundreds. Do you want Sony to do something similar where you pay a monthly fee and you get at least 100 titles from all eras of PlayStation?
I mean, they literally need to just take the exact same framework of Game Pass. We've got day one games coming out. We've got game previews coming out. We've got, give me demos for some, play the demo for this game coming out. Here are some of the top, 15 games of the month of March that came out on the PS2. You can play it this March, something like, it's just, that framework works for Game Pass because it's done so well. And PlayStation has to see that. I mean, we're all industry friends. People want to play those old games. The people that worked on those games would love people. I mean, I went back and played Far Cry 3 Blood Dragon. Yeah. Just cause. It was like, why not?
Yes.
Still a great game, by the way. Still
yeah. Over the holidays, I beat Super Metroid, and our family found Dr. Mario again on Nintendo Switch Online. And I was streaming Uncharted 3 last night on this channel right here off the PlayStation 5, having a great time. It's an incredible game. Yeah, and you're right, man. Like, I feel like, even if it does feel like they're playing a bit of catch-up, I think, or they're sort of taking a cue, there's nothing wrong with that. Xbox has worked out a lot of the kinks with Game Pass. They've figured out a really good sort of message and a value proposition for consumers out there. And if we get something that's identical on the PlayStation, I don't think people are going to be too upset with that.
Yeah, not at all. I feel like you bundle it in with a big launch, a day one launch of a game. Like, by the way, this
Horizon.
Game, hey, we can play it a day early if you have the subscription.
I mean, that's kind of what the news is, right? Like with PS Now retail cards being taken from UK retailers, and presumably that's happening in other areas around the world too. It does feel like this might be imminent. Like we might be getting something announced very soon, and Horizon might be that first title on the PlayStation 5.
Again, trump the ability of Game Pass. Give us that. If you have the subscription, you can play it a day early.
Yeah.
You can download it, and the day it launches if you want to not have the subscription. But if you have a subscription, not only do you get it to play it a day early, but you also have access to this entire old school library of everything.
Well, the other thing they have to do with the old school library, like Microsoft has been doing with Xbox, is they have been upconverting and improving some of these classic games in some really.
We don't need it. I don't need another director's cut of a game. Just give me an up-res version of the PS4 style or PS3.
Yeah.
Just come on.
Yes. Yeah, agreed. Wouldn't it be awesome to go back and play MotorStorm on PS5 hardware, and it runs better than it's ever run before? Or Little Big Planet Karting, or Mod Nation Racers, or Killzone, tons of those great
games that were just like they looked great, and they was just like there was something missing, and then they get that little boost of next gen tech, and all of a sudden you're like, wow, that's what it was missing.
Yes, that would be incredible.
Metal Gears.
That would be incredible. Okay, well, I want it, you want it. Do you guys want it? Let us know in the comments below. We're going to move on now, though, and talk about some of the stuff that Nintendo was showing off at their Indie World not too long ago.
Vic already did a video taking a look at 22 hot games coming out in 2022, but a lot of those titles are massive AAA games, and there are some cool indie games coming our way this year as well, like Sea of Stars from the Messenger's developers, Sabotage. This is a retro turn-based role-playing game with some cool action twists. It looks like a throwback to classic Square titles.
Yeah, one of the things
Final Fantasy-ness.
Yeah, a little. Yeah, totally. It's got that kind of vibe. Final Fantasy, but also what was the
Chrono Trigger?
Yeah, a little Chrono Trigger, which it's incredible. And Sabotage, I think everybody was expecting maybe more from the Messenger. The thing that's cool about this game is that it takes place in the Messenger universe, and you don't need to play the Messenger to get the most out of this game because it's a totally different game. It's turn-based, it's a role-playing experience, but it has some really cool action elements. It's timing-based when you're getting into the combat, and it also has real-time lighting in there, so,
some sick sprites!
Which is cool for sprite-based visuals like this. It looks amazing, man. Like, this is a really, really sick team. They are so talented. And I've been wondering what they've been up to. This one's not out until the end of the year, and, it's likely that it's going to be... It's going to be delayed. Yeah. And they got the composer that worked on the Xenocrisis games to work on this one as well. So clearly a love letter to 16-bit role-playing experiences. Looks incredible. Another game that Nintendo showed off is a sequel to Figment, and this is a game that kind of works, takes a page from the Psychonauts games where you're inside of, people's fears and weird dream spaces.
Inside Out.
Yeah, their psychology, and you're dealing with all of these crazy manifestations inside of, a person's psyche, and it looks really cool. I love the first game.
It has a very Bastion.
Yes.
That sort of look to it,
Yeah, like Bastion meets Salvador Dali a little bit. Yeah.
Ooh,
all right.
Bastion Dali.
And Bastion Dali, there you go. And then there's another game that's coming up soon that definitely has me excited, and it's River City Girls 2. Did you play the first game?
The sequel? Oh, yeah. I'm a big fan of the River City franchise.
Yes, me too.
Now the girls are pissed off, and their sprites are bigger than ever.
Well, I think the camera might be zoomed in a little bit.
They're just huge. I want them to be huge, like old school Streets of Rage style, just giant characters.
Well, this is from Way Forward, who has been specializing in lots of cool retro
specializing in killing it.
Yes, crushing it for a long time. Great music, great energy, lots of cool combo moves and stuff. But obviously, it's based on the familiar. It's not kind of rocking the boat with its originality, but it just looks like comfort food, super fun gaming. Out of those three, what are you most excited for?
I feel like I'll put the most time into River City Girls.
Mm-hmm. Is that a Fubar streaming on Twitch one?
Yeah, if I'm playing games, for the most part, it's on Twitch. So I don't really do a lot of offline gaming anymore, because I feel like if I'm playing the game, might as well stream it.
Yes.
Sea of Stars would be interesting. It's been a while since I've sat down and played through an RPG.
How do those do on Twitch when you play like a,
it really depends on the game. Like
role-playing game.
Yeah, I mean, because I don't do a lot. I haven't really sat. I think it's not really. I don't consider it a role-playing game, but I did the Mass Effect Legendary Edition 1 and 2 and played through those games.
And people were there for that, watching the whole thing. Yeah, that's awesome.
It's people love when people like the games. I feel like it's interesting. But if it's a new game, people are just like, I don't know, maybe I'm just coming by to see what this is, what it's all about.
Yes.
Should I invest my own time into this?
Yeah, there's so much value in that. Like if we could travel and start shooting the reviews on the run pieces again together, wouldn't that be wild? I think what I would incorporate is footage from you streaming on one end and me streaming on another end, and we'd put that into. I think there's so much value because you're getting the real time reaction to your experiences, which we never had when we were making the show.
Well, because a lot of the time we were playing games early and you couldn't really stream. Like, this game doesn't come out for a week. If you could just not put it online, that would be awesome.
Plus, it would have been weird to set up a camera just shooting you. Playing a game by yourself.
No, that's what streaming is. That's what it is now.
But you were at least we have people watching and chatting along with us, which is cool. Anyways, we are going to move on, and I've got a couple quick things to tell you guys about. First of all, I've got a couple of unboxings to get to. Ooh. Let's start with a laptop that Intel shot me. All right, you guys, I've got a few things to unbox today, and we're going to start with this MSI laptop. Intel Canada sent this out to me, and they said that it is a super fast machine that I'm going to have a lot of fun testing out some games on. MSI makes some pretty cool stuff. I've got a little waybill to send it back, so no, I'm not giving this one away, unfortunately. So I will send this one back after I've tested it and played with it a little bit. This is an MSI laptop with an RTX GeForce NVIDIA card in there and a 360 hertz display. Looks pretty slick. You can see they have all of the beautiful etchings and edgings here. I love the dragon logo that MSI has on their stuff as well. This is the GE76 Raider 11UH. It's got GeForce RTX 3080 with 16 gigabytes of RAM in it, a 1 terabyte SSD card. It's got 32 gigs of DDR4 RAM and an Intel Core i9 11980 HK processor. So this is a beast of a laptop. I'm going to load it up with some games and my Steam and Epic account and stuff, and I'll stream some and test it out and have a chat with you guys about it. And that's pretty much it in the box. You get the machine, the super powerful machine, and you get the power adapter basically to plug it in and start charging it so you can play it. So look for that. The GE76 from MSI. I'll be playing with this in a little bit. Thanks again to Intel Canada for shooting that out. I haven't set it up yet, so I can't stream with it, but I will very soon. But something that I did unbox, and it's already in the set. You can see it right here. I got a brand new Replicade from New Wave Toys. And oh, you thought it was? Well, yeah, you're there too, Foobs. Got a brand new Foobs right over here. But let's take a look at the 1943 Replicade right now. And I've got a brand new Replicade to unbox today. This is the Capcom's 1943 by New Wave Toys and their Replicade division. They've sent me a bunch of these over the past, and this was a nice surprise. I got 1942 not too long ago, and of course this is the follow-up. It's a World War II based scrolling shooter. You know the deal with these Replicades. They are beautifully crafted designs of classic arcade machines, and there you go. It comes in great packaging. It's actually layers of cardboard that kind of illustrate that you've got something special, but I like this. I mean, this is just the cardboard box, and they do a good job of saying you bought something cool, which is great. Okay, so I'll put that right over there, and this is a look at the packaging where you can see the cabinetry, and this is all to scale. I think it's 1/12 scale, so it fits perfectly with any 12-inch action figures that you might have, which is pretty cool. So let's open this up right now. You've seen me unbox a couple of these over the past couple of years, or a few of these over the last couple of years, and I always have a great big thrill checking these things out, playing the games, because that's the unique thing here. It's not just, you know, like a statue or something like that. It's not just like a piece of art. You can actually play the games, and this one not only has 1943 and 1942, which is pretty crazy, but it also comes with a little extra controller there so you can play some two-player games. You can see all of the detail that's gone into making this thing incredibly special. Let's open this up and take a look at the actual machine itself. These all connect through USB and they charge up. Put that right there. So it comes with an instruction manual, which is great. Just tells you, how to set it up and how to play the game. Tiny little quarters and a little, top secret instructions, which I guess were probably included with the original arcade cabinet. And then a bunch of these little 3M sticky rubber stickers that you can stick on the bottom to make it not slide around, which is pretty handy. Comes with the standard micro USB charging cable right here, because these are battery powered as well. You can charge them for a bit, put them on a shelf or something. And here is the cabinet itself. Nicely guarded in there. Nice and safe and secure. There we are. Move this back here like that. A little background right there for you. But that's the machine. You can see it from all angles. There's some plastic tape on it to keep it from getting scratched up. Plastic on the front of this. I'll take that off too. You can see all the elaborate art of all of these fighter planes from World War II, kind of almost comic book versions of them. And I think there might be some power in this, so we'll turn it on and we'll see if there's a little bit of a charge on it. Yep. There we go. There we go. That feels good. Peel the plastic skin off of it. So in the back, you can see that it's all lit up and it's playing right now. But in the back, there's actually a little arcade controller, so you can play 2-player on the machine, which is so adorable. So you can have 2 people playing it at the same time. So I have to play it like this. It sounds incredible. Oh man, love that you can just take it right out of the box and it's ready to go. You can test it out right away. And yep, I'm flying around blasting planes right now, which is great. I do wish that this had an HDMI out. The Dragon's Lair one has an HDMI out, so you can hook it up to a television, which is pretty cool. I wish that that was a standard thing with all of the Replicades. I think that'd be great. So it includes 2 arcade games. It's got a micro switch little joystick with great buttons on it, and it's got all of this beautiful detail and ornate artwork, and it's just another way to kind of honor the past of classic great arcade machines. This is going to be in the background of Electric Playground in my basement from now on, so you'll see it lined up with the other Replicades that I have. Thank you so much for sending this out, Replicade. I love these machines. Keep them coming, and keep doing this great work. Super cool device. I love these things. I actually had a chance to play it for a little bit. I'll show you what it's like to play this thing. Hopefully the audio is
like
not
this?
too loud. Yeah, it's tiny, but it's...
What is this, an arcade for ants?
It's totally an arcade for your 12-inch action figures. I actually had a comment actually in the chat here. Can you hook it up to a TV? And no, that's something that I pointed out in the unboxing. There was an HDMI out on the Dragon's Lair, which is this one right here. And we streamed it actually on a live stream here. I plugged it in live. I opened it up and we plugged it in and started playing, which was pretty crazy. But the other ones don't have HDMI out, and I kind of want Replicade to do that on a regular basis, just because it's a fun way to. I mean, it's not the best way to play those games on a TV.
You want to play some multiplayer?
Well, that's the other thing, though. They give you little mini controllers now, so you can. There's a Street Fighter one up there with 2 controls, and one of them is external that you plug in, and they're so wild. I mean, it's a clever way to honor that stuff. Yeah, and they look great in the background too. I love them as a part of the set element here. My makeshift set in my basement. Okay, we have one last thing to talk about right now, and that is Justified, which is a TV show that I really, really like. Raylan Givens, played by Timothy Oliphant, is this Kentucky-bred cop. Becomes an agent, basically, and he starts working with, I think, the FBI, and then he gets into a precarious situation, gets sent back to Kentucky, and ran for a bunch of seasons on FX, and it's a really, really cool show. Elmore Leonard is the author behind the character, and there's some books out there with this character, but it has that kind of bluegrass sensibility, that vibe that we don't often see In some ways, it's a little bit like what's happening with that Justin Bateman show, the
Ozarks.
Yeah, Ozark show. It's a little bit like that, but from the other side. He's a cop, and he's trying to sort of navigate this rural crime stuff that's happening in the first run of the show. But they're coming back with a limited run series, just like Dexter just did. And he's going to Detroit, so he's going to take his country boy kind of attitude and go to Detroit, which sounds really cool.
Can I just say, I'm a really big fan of this. Let's bring back this series that I thought was gone forever kind of vibe.
Yeah.
I mean, if anybody wants to pick up another season of Lost and finish that off differently, that'd be fantastic. I'd really appreciate it. But also, I just heard the news from the guy, Martin Jarrow, who did, what's the show with the girl in her back? I can't think of it right now. But they're bringing back Quantum Leap. I've been talking about this I've been talking about this for years just on my channel. What a great video game that was.
Totally, yeah.
You just leap into different people and you have to figure out different circumstances. Oh, but now it's coming back. It sucks because we just lost Dean Stockwell.
I know.
But the fact that it's coming back.
It's so cool.
My God.
It's a great concept.
Blind Spot was the show that Martin Jarrow did. But
Blind Spot. Oh, yeah.
Blind Spot,
okay. Yeah. With all the tattoos all over her body, and she wakes up with amnesia. That always looked cool. And you're right, because there is a lot of good television stuff out there. It's like...
you could bring back for a limited series. I wouldn't mind.
And I think that's the right way to do it. But if you never caught the original show, it's with so much new stuff happening all the time, it's pretty hard to say, okay, well, I'm going to go and watch 6 seasons of something that I missed the first go round. And there's like all these new shows all the time. But if they bring these shows back with limited runs, especially if Amazon or Netflix is buying the rights to these classic shows, they should make a new season, and then people will watch all the old stuff too.
That's how you give them a little, throw the bait out there and hook them.
Well, that's what Star Trek is doing right now. Although they're angering more of their fans than but they're they're still making lots of
the original Star Trek. There was only 3 seasons. You can just go back, power through those. Those are quick.
Yeah, totally. Well, Justified's going to be coming soon, and I am looking forward to that. And actually, I lied. There's one last thing that I wanted to talk about with you today, Foobs, and that is the new Penguin and the new Riddler. Ooh. What did you think of the reveals that they've shown us for the Batman movie?
I mean, well, the Riddler looks like a character out of Call of Duty.
Yeah.
Like he's preparing for war. And I feel like the unmasking of the Riddler is going to be the shock value of that character.
Yeah.
Because people are going to see this image and be like, what exactly is happening?
Is he going to be all scratched up with question marks all over his body and stuff?
Right.
Like little Victor Zsasz, but they're all
too zazzy. That'd be too zazzy.
But
then you got Colin. What? Oh my God! What's that? Is that him or is that Al Pacino from Dick Tracy?
Yeah,
I don't know, but you can't tell it's him. It's gonna be. It looks a lot better than Danny DeVito's Penguin, even though Danny DeVito's Penguin was a lot creepier.
Oh, he was seminal. I love. He was just
Batman
such a creepy.
Yes. He was just like the pivotal creepy Penguin. This just looks like I don't know, James Gandolfini's older brother.
It's so wild that that's Colin Farrell, because like Colin Farrell's a really handsome dude. He's like a marquee movie star, and they turned him into like a guy that works at Walmart or something. It's just it's so weird. Nothing against anybody working at Walmart, but it's just like
you look like Colin Farrell's Penguin. Okay.
But I was watching some of the clips from the Batman trailer again because they were queued up in OBS as I was popping in new footage again. That movie looks incredible. It really does look like it's going to be sensational.
I haven't seen any trailer.
Yeah, good plan. Don't see anything. I'm still pissed at how many secrets were revealed with Spider-Man that I'm trying to not. But my job is to talk about this stuff, so I have to look at this stuff.
See, now I haven't seen a Spider-Man trailer or the movie or any spoilers, so I literally am still at a blank slate. Hopefully it's it can stay that way until I finally get out to see the damn movie.
That one comes out on digital on February 28th. So
that's like a month. That's just over a month from now. Already,
I know.
It's crazy to me.
Those dates are shrinking and shrinking all the time. Yes, but Batman is supposed to come out March 4th. We still don't know if that's going to happen. I cannot wait to see Paul Dano and Colin Farrell in this movie. But I can't, even more than that, I can't wait to have you back on the rundown. This was a lot of fun.
Thanks. I mean, I'm always here.
Oh, I'll reach out again soon. I don't want to take advantage of you always being there, but I'm going to reach out again soon because this was awesome.
It's okay, man. I'm always here. Get me out of here.
Well, you rock, my friend. Thank you, Jose. Follow Foobs on Twitch at twitch.tv/Don_Fubar. He's Don Fubar on Twitter, and you are an awesome gentleman. Thank you, sir. And thank you all for watching. We will see you very soon, and until then, play forever.